Okay, so for this problem, we're going to go through and apply the variation in parameters method to solve this inhomogeneous differential equation. And it should be noted that you could actually solve this with undetermined coefficients as well. This is one of those unique problems where you could solve it two different ways and get answers that are exactly the same. And it's kind of nice to compare the two methods, but again, let's just focus on the variation in parameters in this example. So let's go through and first solve the homogeneous equation. So we're going to solve y double prime minus 2y prime plus y is equal to 0. And that has auxiliary equation r squared minus 2r plus 1 equals 0. We can recognize that as a perfect square trinomial as r minus 1 squared equals 0. So our repeated values of r are both the number 1. So our two solutions are going to be y1 of t is just plain e to the t, and again, to break that linear dependence, the second solution is t e to the t. Once again, we need to find our Wronskian. So our Wronskian is our 2x2 determinant of these two functions along with their first derivatives. So we're going to have an e to the t and a t e to the t for the top row. Below will be their derivatives. So that's going to be e to the t again. And then by the product rule, we're going to have a 1 times e to the t plus t times derivative of e to the t, which is, again, itself. All right, so we now take this determinant. So we're going to be multiplying e to the t times itself. So that's going to be e to the 2t. And then the next term is plus t e to the 2t. Then you subtract the backwards product. And if we multiply those together, we're going to get, once again, a t e to the 2t. And so those two terms do cancel out, and not that one. Oops, that one we want to keep. So that's our keeper. That's our e to the t. Twice, e to the 2t. And then so second and third terms that cancel out. All right, so again, our Wronskian is e to the 2 times t. Now our formulas for v1 and v2 are the same as the previous example. v1 of t is always the opposite of the integral of the forcing term, which is e to the t, times the y2, which is t e to the t, divided by the Wronskian, which was e to the 2t. And then if we go through and simplify this down, we will notice that the exponentials cancel out, and we're just integrating a negative t with respect to t. So we get a negative 1/2 t squared. Again, we do not include the constant of integration. v2 is just going to be the integral of the forcing term, which is e to the t, times the y1 function, which is e to the t, divided by the Wronskian, which is e to the 2t with respect to t. That's just the integral of 1 with respect to t, which is just plain t. So that right there is going to be our v1 and v2. Now our formula for the particular solution is always y1 of t, v1 of t, plus y2 of t times v2 of t. So for this problem, the y1 of t was e to the t. The v1 that we found was 1/2 t squared. And then we have our y2, which was t e to the t, times the v2, which was just plain t. So we end up with a 1/2 t squared e to the t, minus, or I should say plus, a positive t squared. So this is a negative 1/2 t squared e to the t, plus a 1 t squared e to the t. That makes just 1/2 t squared e to the t. So our solution y of t then is going to have an arbitrary constant c1 times the y1 plus a c2 times the y2. And then we're going to have plus our particular solution, 1/2 t squared e to the t. And once again, and that's a recurring theme that gets redundant, but you will notice that you have three linearly independent functions making up your general solution. And again, this tells you that if you applied undetermined coefficients, you would end up with your constant A being a 1/2 in that process.